So in my last video, I gave you a little bit of an update as to what's been going on with me. As you know, I've been trying to train for 70.3 Waco later on this year and this fall. And that's still my hope. That's still my goal to be able to do that. But I wanted to share just a little bit of an update. If you didn't know what's been going on with me, you can watch this last video that I uploaded kind of detailing a little bit of some heart complications that I've been dealing with and going through. And I wanted to just kind of share with you a little bit more about that, because there may be some others who are training for triathlon or running races or just overall trying to get back into fitness while dealing with some heart complications. And before I tell you anything about myself personally, I want to recommend a particular a documentary, a movie that I would encourage you to watch. It's one that I've watched before, and it's called Flatline to Finish Line. And I found this documentary to be very impactful and inspiring for me as somebody who has some heart issues. And it's a documentary that follows several people around who have all kinds of heart complications and about their journey to overcoming that with surgeries and medications and with triathlon. And so that's something that really resonated with me. Whenever I talk about it never being too late to give life a second try, a big part of that is my resolve to turn my life around and make the best that I can out of the genes and the conditions, the deck that I've been dealt, so to speak, within my own life. And so a little bit about me and a little bit about my heart complications and heart conditions that I have within my own life is I've got really quite a few of them. If I were to pull up some of my diagnosis, some of my sheets that I've been given from my cardiologist, you can see that I have cardiomegaly, an enlargement of the heart, which has gotten worse with endurance training, but that part of that is not to be taken to be too serious, as it's considered to be a form of athlete's heart, and that part isn't such a worry. But I was born with an enlarged heart, and that causes me some issues such as some frequent palpitations, heart racing out of control, being very very uncomfortable and painful and stressful, as well as essential primary hypertension. That I generally have low blood pressure, right at the normal limit or just below the normal limit, but inexplicably at times it will shoot through the roof and give me some complications that otherwise I would not have been experiencing. And so that's a little bit of what goes on with me. But one interesting note is I've been tested basically with every kind of test that you can imagine, whether it be an echocardiogram, a stress test on the treadmill, as well as blood work and other kinds of tests that have been done, calcium score. And most of those things check out really well. As you can see on a stress test that I had done earlier this year, I was able to go above and beyond what the expected 100% of my max heart rate would be. Thank you, endurance training, for that, as well as being able to go through this test and with the official statement that I have excellent exercise tolerance for my age. Again, thank you, triathlon, for that. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about as I talk about my health problems is that I am under care of a cardiologist, and I do take my training very seriously, but also very cautiously, with the understanding that my training does not necessarily negatively impact my heart conditions, but at times my heart conditions certainly slow me down and keep me from doing the very things that I love to do and that I want to do. And so recently I've sort of been relegated to very short and easy bike rides on the trainer, keeping my watts really below 100 watts at a time, and keeping my heart rate real low and steady, as well as taking frequent walks with my wife, up and down our road, trying to just get back into moving. I have some more follow-up appointments coming up later this week, and hopefully we can get some good clearances, diagnosis there. And so there may be some of you who are struggling with some of the same things. I know that most endurance athletes and most triathletes, we're really kind of type A people, and we want to go and go hard all the time. And that's typically who I am. But every once in a while, my heart condition just kind of slaps me in the face and makes me sit down, makes me go slow, causes me to reevaluate what's really important and taking life slowly. We say this a lot as endurance athletes, that whenever we get out on the race course, it's not really, for most of us, competing for a podium, but it's us versus us, you versus you. And I mean that whenever I say that, but for me it takes on a whole different meaning, because I'm really just trying to be the healthiest me that I can possibly be. And sometimes that means PRs, it means setting records for myself, it means podiuming in my age group. Sometimes it just means finishing the race. And so thank you for your support, and I'd encourage you to continue to follow along, and as well as leave me some encouragement. If you have gone through some similar health struggles and have been able to battle through that and continue to train the way that you want to train and to compete at a high level, I'd love to hear your stories and hear how you overcome that, specifically on the mental health side of things. For me, I found it's not just the physical, but after I go through a scary episode like I did several days back, it's the mental state that really hinders me from training. And so with that, that's my update for now. I'll be keeping in touch and hopefully getting more and more into some activity that I can share in my training and my build-up for 70.3 Waco. But until that time, I want you, as always, to always remember that no matter what you're going through in life, it is never too late to take your health more seriously, and it is never too late to give life a second try. I'll see you next time.